Good evening, guys. Hey, I just wanted to clarify a bunch of stuff. There's a bunch of these influencers out there that are suddenly crypto experts, real estate experts and stuff. So I want to clarify some lies that people have been telling you and also some truths that will help you possibly make a lot of money in the up and coming bull run as we go into, it hasn't even started, guys. So it's like barely on the cusp here. So this is going to help you hopefully make a ton of money in crypto and real estate too, because I really love both. Okay, so a couple things. First, I want to talk about real estate just for 1 second here, because everybody's saying that BlackRock is buying single family homes. Lie, complete lie. BlackRock, from the R&D that I've done and the diligence I've done, has not been accumulating single family homes. So when all these people are telling you they're buying 1 out of every 3 homes, misinformation, big misinformation. Now there's a company called Blackstone, which is a firm that acquires single family homes, but that is not BlackRock, okay? Guys, get this straight. And all those influencers that keep posting all this information, ignore them. And if you want to find someone who's good with crypto, scroll back in their posts and see if they're giving you good information during bear markets and bull run markets going way back. You've probably seen my stuff going back to like 2013, and you can watch the videos and tell me if you think they're true, if it's happened. Look at my video about NVIDIA back in 2019 on equities and different things, and Tesla back in 2019 about the ingredients and the cake and all that. So I'm gonna share you stuff that I've had experience with for decades, and here we go. So first, this is crypto, as it hasn't been around for decades, but Bitcoin is rising. And why is it rising? A lot of people are still asking me why. The big catalyst is first institutional investment, and that is BlackRock for the Bitcoin and Ethereum ETF. You have Fidelity, which is huge. Each one of those companies controls over $10 trillion in assets. So it's massive. But one thing that I think that you got to be aware of is this. Bitcoin, I think, will continue to rise here into the bull market, which usually starts, like I said, a couple hundred days after the halving, and here we go. So it started a little bit with Bitcoin. But what it's still super on sale are mid caps, small caps, and super small altcoins, okay? And of course, memes are crazy because right now when you go into a bull market, there's a lot to be made and a lot to be made to lose as well. Now, Ethereum is probably going to be the next trickle. Now, this is not financial advice, just so you know. This is just data on what we've seen historically. Then, of course, you'll see smaller tokens like Solana go up. Then you might even see a lot of L2s like ARB go up and different things like that. But again, you got to do your research because it can be pretty dangerous and volatile. So you got to be stomaching the stuff as it goes. Now, a couple tools I want to share with you. There's Dex Tools and Dex Screener. 2 really great sites to be able to see like the market cap of a token, how much token volume is happening on the tokens. Another thing that you can actually track though is how many holders of the tokens are. And on a lot of those sites, you can track the actual trades and the wallets that are buying and selling. Dex Screener, Dex Tools, okay? Now, if you just want to look at broad market, what's happening overall, you can use CoinGecko, which is a great little app you can get, and you can look at CoinMarketCap. So those are 2 really good tools. One thing that I think is going to happen is you're going to see is this. Bitcoin, obviously, we think will continue to rise through the long term, and a lot of people are talking about that. But then mid caps will spill over. Why? Because there's a thing called Bitcoin dominance. And right now, Bitcoin holds close to 60% of all the crypto market. But as people start seeing all-time highs, they want to make profits still, and the upside becomes a little bit less for Bitcoin, at least in the short term. So people start selling those off and moving them to mid caps. And that's why Ethereum is still, a huge percentage off from its all-time high. Then you'll start seeing them go into smaller and smaller projects. A lot of the projects in our hedge fund, the Ugly Unicorn Fund, are mid and small cap and alts. So those haven't even started yet. But it's crazy. We've seen crazy gains here just in the last couple of weeks. But in our minds, it hasn't even started. So let's take some math from the previous few cycles that I've lived through. Let me share that experience with you. What's happened in the last few cycles is this. Once that Bitcoin hits a certain level, It keeps going up. You see that spillover into mid caps, then you see more spillover into small caps, then you see into like micro alts, and then you see memes and things like that continue to go. I think it's about a 12-month ride for this. And then you're going to see some consolidation and those kind of things though. But the big differentiating factor is political now. And I don't like to get super political, but if the US brings Bitcoin to its reserves, right, into the treasury, you're going to see that happen all over the world, which is crazy because remember, there's only 21 million Bitcoins, and a little over 19 million have been mined, and 6 million have been lost, and that's it. Now, people are asking, well, Dan, what's going to happen when all the Bitcoin's sold? Well, you can still trade it with Satoshis, which are micro amounts of Bitcoins, and they go smaller and smaller and smaller increments. So you could buy 0.0000001 of a Bitcoin, right? You could still do it. It's a fractional share almost. So you don't have to buy one whole Bitcoin. So that's why I recommend a lot of people that don't have a lot of money or they're new, you can dollar cost average into whatever you're buying. I'm not saying it's Bitcoin only, but you can set it up so you're auto buying every single month, like, and treat it like a car payment, okay? A couple websites that I like to use are Fidelity, and of course Coinbase is a super easy one as well. Coinbase is the only US-based publicly traded exchange, which is really, really cool. So those are great. Now, just a recommendation, if you're gonna use any of those sites like Coinbase, make sure you have two-factor authentication on, and do not use your cell phone for that. Use Google Authenticator, and do not back up your authentication codes to your Google account, because if your account gets hacked, they can get your 2FA codes, okay? You can turn that off in the Google Authenticator app. But make sure you've backed up, of course, like your seed keys if you're using a hard wallet. You wanna back up those authentication codes as well. So that way you can restore it if there's a problem with your device. Or a lot of people will get a second or a third device and back those codes up so they have backup devices if something happens. So that's pretty darn important. Fidelity I like because you can do fractional buying of stocks. So if you didn't want to buy a full share of Apple or Tesla or Nvidia, whoever you're buying, you can buy a little tiny chunk of that. You could buy $50 of Apple if you wanted to. So that's pretty cool. Let's talk about AI. Where's AI going? Nvidia is pretty high now, and I think long-term it's going to do good. But again, there's spillover now into the ingredients of the AI cake. Same thing with Tesla. I think lithium is a great opportunity for batteries going forward. And I think Tesla's going to get a massive amount of government subsidies because, Elon chose the team that he wanted and that team won. So they're probably going to reward him for his loyalty. So as far as Tesla goes, I think they have a very good future, getting lots of government money and building infrastructure. They'll probably become the utility and largest battery manufacturer in the whole universe. And of course, if they increase tariffs in China, then it's going to be really expensive for them to import batteries. So where are they going to buy them? From Elon. Now, where is this data hosted? Well, Amazon Web Services, AWS, and Microsoft Azure. Both US-based companies, again, so big incentive to support those companies, right, from the government. And if they hold more than 90% of all the AI and cloud data, what do you think is going to happen, right? So lots of compelling futures here. Now, again, this isn't financial advice. I'm not telling you what to buy. Just look and watch this video and share this video and save this video, and you'll watch probably most of this come to pass. I had someone actually message me back in 2019. I was speaking at a friend's event, and he said, Dan, you were talking about NVIDIA and the future of chips and data center and all this stuff. This is before AI was a big hit. And he had bought some NVIDIA. I've gotten actually a bunch of messages like this. And to give you an idea, I put in a test account $10,000 in NVIDIA just to show students, right, like you guys, what would happen to it. It's worth a little bit over $470,000 today from 10 grand. This is since 2019. So a small amount, even if you had $1,000 in there or $100 in there, you would have probably done okay. All right. So pretty cool. Now I gotta get off this video because the Mike Tyson, Jake Paul fight is gonna happen. You're probably wondering who I think's gonna win. That's a toughie. Jake Paul has a long career ahead of him, so he can't get his butt kicked too much. Mike Tyson gets paid whether he wins or he loses, but he hits hard, man. So if it's not rigged and he comes out hard in the beginning, first few rounds, or in the first round and just freaking lays haymakers and any of them land, well, Jake's probably going to be knocked out, right? But we'll see what happens. This will be kind of fun. All right, so how can you guys help me? A couple things. If you're an accredited investor, our Ugly Unicorn crypto fund, we manage well over 40 positions now. We've done really well for our investors. Last year, 23, we returned a little over 63% net to our investors, but that's in a boring bear market. What do you think might happen in a bull run market here that we're going to see? I think it's going to be good. That's why we're over 90% full in our fund, but it's not for everybody. You have to be an accredited investor, and our minimum entry is $250,000. Got a few spots left. Direct message me if you are accredited or a qualified purchaser, and you can join. If you're a home gamer, you're not there yet. I hope you get there yet. This is why I'm giving you this information. Set up a Fidelity account, maybe a Coinbase account to get started. When you start accumulating massive amounts of crypto, you'll definitely want to get a hard wallet, and I'll go over those security procedures with you. Okay, guys? Oh, and one last thing I discovered. If you have AT&T or Verizon or any of these carriers on your cell phone, call them and make sure they do a second level of authentication. So if anyone tries to hack your account, steal your cell phone number, anything like that, you can make it so they need to call you or your wife or your boyfriend or whoever it is as a backup before any changes are made. You can also lock your eSIM on your phone, but be really careful, because if you forget your password to your eSIM, your phone's not going to work, and you're going to have to call them to try to get it reset and get a PUF code and all this stuff, and it's a big pain in the butt. So that's another layer of like cell phone security, so you don't get spoofed, some AI tries to extort your family, okay? Like, this is really important. I know this is a lot of information to download, and I know the fight's starting in just a little bit, so please do me a favor. I want to get the algorithm up. I don't charge you subscriptions. Tell your friends about Ugly Unicorn if they're accredited or qualified purchaser. Take some action with Fidelity and Coinbase if you haven't started something like that. But also save, share, and comment this video. I think save and shares really boost the algorithm, and nice comments from you below is great. So maybe talk about, like, answer the question, do you own Bitcoin or not? Say yes or no in the comments. Save and share this, and that'll help me a lot. All right, guys, appreciate it. Thank you very much, and have a rockin' weekend. We're still on. I always do this, and I love ya.